All right, so we're diving deep today into something that's, well, it's got everyone talking.
Yeah, this is a big one.
It really is. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. This power couple. I mean,
Power couple is right.
yeah, everyone wants to know what's the secret sauce.
Right. What makes them tick?
Exactly. What makes them tick? Why are people so drawn to them?
Well, I think a lot of people look at them and go, couple goals.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this recent news piece, we've got picture-perfect video, strolling through Paris.
Like something out of a movie.
Exactly. But then you read the caption, and Rihanna's talking about how A$AP still writes her love letters. Handwritten.
Oh, wow. Like old school.
Yeah, handwritten love letters. In this day and age, you gotta wonder, is this like genuine old school romance?
Or is it just, a really good PR move?
Right. It's hard to tell sometimes.
It is. But even if it's for show, I mean, you've got to admit, handwritten letters, that's a choice.
It's a statement for sure.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
maybe it taps into something like a nostalgia,
For simpler times.
Yeah. And people are really craving that authenticity these days.
I mean, you see that in the comments, like that one about handwritten letters being portals to the soul
It's true, though. There's something about the effort.
that you don't get with a text.
Totally. It's like they're putting themselves out there, being vulnerable.
And intentional?
Exactly. But it also makes me think, right, I mean, are they playing this up? This whole fairy tale romance image.
Well, they're definitely giving people what they want. I mean, you see comments calling them the greatest celebrity couple.
Just because they seem so real.
No
Like,
drama.
is that what we're all craving? Just a break from the fake stuff?
All the curated online personas.
And the staged photo shoots and the constant drama.
Absolutely. And with them, it feels, I don't know, just more authentic somehow.
More real.
More real, yeah. Or at least that's the image that they're putting out there.
And it's not just the romance, right? Rihanna called them best friends with babies, too.
Which, that adds a whole other layer.
It does. It's relatable. Yeah, because parenthood, it's not easy.
Not at all. Especially when you're under a microscope like that.
Exactly. And it seemed to be handling it all with grace.
And humor.
Right. Which makes them even more appealing to people.
So it's the romance, the stability, now the family thing. I mean, are they the ultimate couple goals then?
I think for a lot of people, they really are. It's a potent combination, that's for sure.
But it makes you wonder, are we maybe idealizing them a little too much?
That's a good question. I mean, is it setting us up for disappointment? If it doesn't last forever?
Because let's face it, no relationship is perfect.
Right, and we're only seeing what they choose to show us.
Exactly. So there's always more to the story than what we see on the surface. It's like, we want them to be the exception, right? That perfect couple.
Yeah, the ones who figured it all out.
But what happens if it all falls apart? What does that say about, I don't know, about the rest of us?
It's tricky, right? Because we're projecting all these hopes and dreams onto them.
And it's easy to forget they're just people.
Exactly. They have problems like everyone else.
I mean, think about all those comments praising them for being so low-key. Not always in the tabloids.
They're definitely playing a different game than a lot of celebrity couples.
Like, they're not trying to be the loudest voice in the room.
Which, honestly, it just makes them more intriguing.
Makes them seem more authentic, somehow.
Yeah, like they value their privacy.
And they're in control of their own story.
100%. They're not letting fame dictate their every move. It's refreshing,
In a world where everyone's oversharing everything.
Totally. They're setting boundaries. And it seems to be working for them.
I mean, one fan even called their relationship a magical phenomenon. Like it's this rare and precious thing.
I think it's that longing we all have for genuine connection in a world that feels increasingly fake.
So we see them and we think, maybe it's possible.
Maybe true love does exist.
But there's a flip side to that, isn't there? If we put them on this pedestal of like relationship goals.
What happens when they fall short?
Does it make it seem like lasting love is even more out of reach?
It's a valid point, because let's be real, no relationship is perfect.
Even if it looks that way on Instagram.
Right, we all make mistakes, we all have our struggles.
So it's about finding that balance, I guess.
Appreciating what they have without turning it into some unrealistic standard.
Because comparing ourselves to them is only going to set us up for disappointment.
Exactly. Their relationship can be inspiring, for sure, but it shouldn't be the measuring stick for our own lives.
We all have to find our own path.
And our own definition of what makes a relationship successful.
It's like we're always searching for these relationship blueprints.
Yeah, like a one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. But maybe that's not the point.
Right. Maybe it's more about figuring out what works for you.
As individuals and as a couple.
Exactly, and that's going to look different for everyone.
So we see the romance with Rihanna and A$AP, the stability, the family life.
It's very appealing.
It is, especially in today's world.
Yeah, with all the chaos and uncertainty.
But are we maybe setting ourselves up for failure here? by buying into this whole celebrity image.
It's a risk, for sure. I mean, we're putting them on this pedestal.
But we don't really know them.
Right, we're only seeing the highlight reel.
Exactly. Social media is not real life.
No, it's definitely not, and we can't vet that.
So, admiration is fine, but idealization, maybe not so much.
It's a slippery slope.
So, what can we learn from Rihanna and Anne without falling into that trap?
I think it's about focusing on the core values they seem to embody.
Like commitment, communication, respect,
Yeah, those are the foundations of any strong relationship.
whether you're famous or not,
Exactly. It's about the effort you put in.
and the connection you build with each other.
And let's be real, that takes work.
It does. It's not always glamorous,
Definitely not. But it's worth it in the end.
so maybe the takeaway here is love isn't about the grand gestures.
Or the perfect Instagram posts.
It's about the everyday moments
The little things.
and finding someone who sees you, accepts you,
And supports you.
and being willing to do the same for them.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
So it's less about being just like Rihanna and an Apri.
And more about defining what genuine connection means for you.
Yeah, it's your love story.
Write your own ending.
Absolutely. Well, that was a fascinating deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure. 10D7.